Uh, so our understanding now for the brain processing of the language is language is processed by the cerebral cortex. So cerebral cortex is the thick layer of neural fibers that covers the brain. So I have a model to show you. So it's basically like a bark of the tree. It covers the brain, and commonly known as the gray matter. Our knowledge for the gray matter is new and developing. But right now we have the understanding that gray matter is important for some of the critical brain functions, such as working memory and the language. And specifically, our brain processes the language in a very compartmentalized and organized manner. So for example, if you look at this part of, so basically the language center in the brain is right here. So it's part of the cerebral cortex that is above our auditory cortex, which is the hearing center. So it's right above our ear. And this part, the frontal part, is basically responsible for the processing of syntax. And interestingly, only native speakers can process language in a compartmentalized manner, so they can retrieve different kind of information from different part of the brain. However, if for a non-native speaker, PET scan found that different language information is processed all over the brain, so that could probably explain why for a non-native speaker it takes an effort to speak the language.
Speech defects are disorders affecting the ability to produce normal speech. Speech therapists have divided speech defects into 5 main types: delayed speech, articulation problems, stuttering, cluttering, voice disorders, and aphasia.
Delayed speech is defined as a child's slow language development, a defect which hurts one's ability to communicate and speak during childhood development. This hindrance of speech development can cause issues with later language acquisition in the child's life. One reason for delayed speech is a motor speech disorder known as apraxia. Apraxia is an early childhood speech disorder that makes it difficult for a person to have control over their fine and gross motor movements. The lack of control makes it difficult for a person to move their lips, tongue, and jaw in the proper way needed to form speech sounds into words. Some typical signs of apraxia are repeated attempts and failures to pronounce words, distorting of vowels, very little babbling during childhood, and struggling to make words.
A, B, C, D, E, F, D.
Sam, say frog.
Fuck.
Say frog.
Fuck.
Frog. Say
Fuck.
An articulation disorder involves the substitution, addition, or omission of sounds when a person pronounces a word, making comprehension difficult for listeners.
One.
Rat, rat,
Rat.
rabbit,
Rat.
car.
Car.
Putting your tongue when you say your sound.
Up on top of your teeth.
Okay, is it in the front or the back of your mouth?
Back.
Back? Okay, now put your tongue up in the back. Oh, okay, looks pretty good. Now say your sound for me.
Stuttering is a speech disorder in which the normal flow of speech is interrupted by repetitions and prolongations of speech sounds, or when one is unable to start a word. Stuttering is classified by tremors of the jaw and mouth, or rapid blinking when in the act of stuttering. Those who stutter have a clear understanding as to what they want to say, but temporarily are unable to physically say it. Certain situations, such as public speaking, tend to trigger one's stuttering and encourage the speech problem.
As far as I see it, my husband has mechanical difficulties with his speech.
All right. You want mechanics? We need to relax your jaw muscles, strengthen your tongue. And you do have a flabby tummy, so we'll need to spend some time strengthening your diaphragm. Simple mechanics.
Fine.
People with aphasia are unable to either produce complete verbal and written sentences or understand ones directed to them. This deficit is caused by brain damage or trauma such as a stroke, a constriction of blood flow to the brain that chokes off its oxygen supply, killing the area of the brain that is fed by those blood vessels.
And say baseball player, baseball player. Okay. Caterpillar.
With Wernicke's aphasia, a person can produce flowing speech with good syntax. However, the person cannot understand semantics behind what they say or what is said to them. Though referred to as fluent aphasia, the sentences a person with Wernicke's aphasia produces are usually abnormal, containing awkward or pointless words or improper structures. The Wernicke's area is located in the back of the left hemisphere of the brain. Damage to this region is what causes Wernicke's aphasia.
Trees, low grass, and washing the dishes, and hot and cold water, splashing.
Spasmodic dysphonia is not known, but it appears that the condition originates in a section of the brain called the basal ganglia, where muscle motion is controlled. In this case, the muscles that control the larynx.
Only short sounds or stringing together a few short words, though they will understand the meaning of the sentences said to them. Broca's aphasia is the non-fluent aphasia, in which sentences produced take a lot of effort from the speaker and often include poor syntax and mostly functional words. The Broca's area is located in the left hemisphere of the brain, so damage to this region of the brain is what causes this language deficit.